The following is a paid program. Content is provided by the advertiser. WSTU, its staff, management, and owners are not responsible for the content. Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Blackridge Asset Management is a separate and independent entity from Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. And now, Today with Denny, here's Denny Artachi.
All right, another beautiful morning in South Florida. Evan, we get to live and work in this kind of environment. What a great day. It's Thursday morning. I want to welcome everybody to Today with Denny. And I'm pretty excited because tomorrow I'm going to kick off a show at Terra Firmata here in Stewart. It's going to be a Santana tribute concert. Going to be a 7-piece band. You can certainly get tickets online. And if you love the music of Santana, I think you will certainly enjoy what we're going to do. We're going to have authentic percussion player, timbali player, and it's going to be a great show. So tomorrow at Terra Firmata, it kicks off at 7 p.m. I talked to the weather gods. They told me that it's not going to rain on us. So I hope that they hold true to their word that it'll be a great show tomorrow, weather-wise. Before we get going, of course, a great icon in radio, Rush Limbaugh, passed away recently with a battle of cancer. You know, Rush was one of those iconic figures that, my God, his followers were just unbelievable. He didn't have to run commercials or have sponsors. He could keep people tuned in for hours. And I've got to tell you, whether you liked him or not, that's true genius. And, of course, our condolences and sympathies for his family, for the late, great Rush Limbaugh that passed away. I think before we get going, we have a special guest on the phone, Mr. Mike Hayflick. Mike, are you on the line?
I am, Denny. Yes, great to hear from you.
Hey, Mike Hayflick, ladies and gentlemen. Now, he's a partner of mine. He's part of the Financial Guys Network, and Mike is a certified Social Security claiming strategist. I am too, but let me tell you, I pale in comparison to Mike's expert. And so I wanted him to get on the show because this is a show about finance, entertainment, life issues. Mike, has there been anything that has changed in the last year or two in Social Security?
Oh, my. As far as Social Security policy or guidelines, maybe not anything significant, but I'll tell you what, a pandemic can really put an emphasis on how to create the best income plan that you could ever create. If it wasn't important before the pandemic, it certainly is now. I think people often don't understand the difference between accumulating all of their wealth and then actually using it wisely and having a fortified income plan. And if you could use Social Security income as that cornerstone to a fortified plan, we found that you'll be far, far better off than those that leverage their own capital to provide more for them in their retirement years. So, I guess, Denny, with this pandemic, with the drop in the markets as they happen, even though many people have recovered, I think it really opened people's eyes to the idea that you can't just sort of glide into retirement and have the hope and prayer plan. You really want to sit with someone who knows how to plan for the income needs that you'll have.
Yeah, stick your head in the sand and hope for the better, right, Mike? Isn't that
I don't know. I'm a man of faith, but I'll tell you what, I don't want to count on, divine intervention to make sure that my wife and I have the retirement we want.
Well, it's funny because I've learned a lot from you, and we're so blessed to be partnered with Andy and his company. We always preach to people, we're not trying to be cute. Would you like to pay more or less in taxes? And Social Security is one of the ways that they can save. I mean, to begin with, of course, we don't know how long someone's going to live, right? So a lot of people want to take it at 62. But what if you do live longer? And if you could, from 62 to age 70, increase your payment by 120% to last for 30 years and pay less in taxes. This is what we go through every day, right, Mike?
Absolutely. A lot of advisors, Denny, and a lot of them. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of them almost because I've met prospects who've come to me and they tell me they tell me what the other approach has been. And the
Right.
other approach is, when it comes to Social Security claiming, is often, the advisor saying to the folks in front of them, essentially, let me get out my when do you think you're going to die calculator.
Right. Yeah.
And, instead of celebrating an upcoming retirement, they're saying, listen, it's really exciting, but you need to tell me when you think you'll die, and then I can tell you the best time to claim Social Security.
Right.
I'll tell you, it's absurd, and it's one of the most naive ways of looking at when to claim. I mean, I can tell you the numbers. If you claim at 62 or 66,
Yeah.
the break even for an individual is you need to live to be 78.
Right. Right.
Well, that doesn't take into account what you just mentioned, the tax efficiency of having higher amounts of Social Security income, the protection of a surviving spouse with a much higher Social Security benefit that is left to a surviving spouse. I mean, there are so many features to this type of guaranteed, inflation adjusted, and highly tax favorable income that, unfortunately, so many advisors are just ill-equipped to have a meaningful discussion with people. And they're also just looking to stay friends, retain their clients. They don't want clients. They don't want clients to spend down any of their own money, because many of these advisors are getting paid fees on the wealth that they're managing. They don't want the clients to start using up some of their own wealth. They'll say, no, go ahead and claim Social Security, only to find that they actually are putting these people in great jeopardy of basically going broke in their later years of retirement.
That's a great point, because they get it backwards. They say take Social Security early and delay your investment income, when, quite frankly, Social Security, if you play it right, you could avoid 85% in taxes. I think if you're an individual and you make $25,000 or less, you're not even going to pay any taxes in Social Security. But the thing is, retirement income, you're going to pay full taxes, where Social Security is more favorably taxed. And I know we're throwing a lot to people, because we use sophisticated software. We don't just shoot from the hip. We show people, hey, here's where it is. Here's your taxation at this age, and here it is at this age. And so, and the other thing too is, how many times, Mike, have you heard, well, I don't know if Social Security is going to be around? If you had $1 for every time you heard that, right? So what?
I'd gamble on the fact that Social Security and that entire trust fund and system will be around more than I guarantee what the markets will do, what interest rates will be, how much inflation we will see, what tax rates will be in the next decade or two. I mean, there are so many risks that we're taking on once we stop having earned income. I mean, once you stop working, you now really have to leverage every dollar that you've saved and every other benefit that you have, including Social Security, to make sure that you are fortified. And it can happen. You mentioned our trademark software. The software isn't a when you're going to die calculator, a break-even analysis.
Of course not.
What it is it'll tell people the most effective use of the capital that they've accumulated. And, I'd ask people listening, what's the difference if you spend down some of your capital in the first maybe 1, 2, 3, even maybe 4 years of retirement, than if you waited until year 20, 22, only to find that capital has been so depleted you just can't possibly keep up. So in our opinion, there's really not a perfect answer for any one person or couple, but you let the software dictate what you need and where the sources of that income is going to come from.
And here's another thing people fail to realize, very important feature. Social Security has cost of living adjustments. I remember in 2008, when people's portfolios were decimated, Social Security had like a 5.8 increase. And, I would say it averages what, Mike, somewhere around 2% a year. There's sometimes, depending on what the CPI index says, they base it on that. But how many investment vehicles and pensions have cost of living adjustments? Not many.
Not many. And I mean, if you want to compare cost of living adjustment to actual investments,
Right.
You basically are talking about investment return, and investment return is not often guaranteed, as we know.
Right.
And if you're looking for guarantees of investment return, good luck finding anything over 1.5% a year. But
right.
Denny, to your point, I have to just talk a little bit about that. The COLAs, it's been in legislation since 1975 that there will be increases to people's Social Security income if there is a CPI adjustment. Now, when this comes up in the media, and I read a lot of articles, I usually try and, you almost check the article's facts.
You still listen to the media?
I'm telling you.
I'm kidding.
It's just, it's funny, Denny. What they do is they jump on the same bandwagon.
Yeah.
They say, the COLA, it's so insignificant. It's so horrible. They should use a different CPI for elderly people. And instead of saying to people, you don't understand how significant compounded COLAs on a bigger benefit can be. And I don't know. I feel like you've got to have, people have to talk to specialists in this area, just like you have to talk to you got to talk to certain types of attorneys. You got to see certain doctors when you have medical issues. You've got to see someone who knows what they're talking about when it comes to Social Security claiming and income strategies. It is far, far different than when you're just simply trying to do dollar cost averaging into the market through your 401k plan and accumulating. But those COLAs are so important.
Absolutely. They stack the interest on top of interest. You know what I think it is, Mike? It's like the conversation of Social Security is not sexy. It's not exciting as someone thinking they're going to make 20% on their portfolio. But I got to tell you, as a planner, which is really my niche, I'm a planner. I'm not a trader, and I'm more conservative than people probably care to be. It's about when you retire, predictable income, guaranteed, and minimizing your taxes. I would say to all those who are listening, call me personally at 561-305-8226. The number again, 561-305-8226. We do webinars. I mean, Mike, you had a lot of interest in the Buffalo office as well. And I think you had to do a bunch of them because of COVID online, right? I mean, that's what you've been doing out there?
I think the first thought when COVID really struck and the markets had plummeted, we all thought, boy, we need to regroup. How are we going to reach out to people?
Right.
Well, we re-engineered, so to speak, our webinar to help people with Social Security optimization. And I don't think there was even a pause in people's willingness to get on Zoom meetings, get on conference calls and listen, because I think they did realize, man, this is a real crisis. I mean, the markets took some people's accounts down 30 to 40%
quickly,
and especially those nearing Social Security claiming ages. They really understood like how important it would be to come up with a plan and actually come up with a plan. I bet so many of the listeners out there, you might have advisors. I'd really challenge those advisors, folks. Ask them, do you actually have a retirement income plan for me?
Right.
And do they have a very specific strategy for claiming Social Security benefits for you? Because it can be absolutely game-changing if you can do it at the right time.
I mean, I lost count. What are there? Literally thousands of ways that you can claim Social Security. You're so more tuned into it, Mike. I mean, have you lost count on how many ways you can claim Social Security as well?
I'll tell you, every case, whether it's an individual
right.
or a married couple, is different. And I mean, think of all the stakeholders. Then you've got individuals, you've got people that were divorced, you've got people who've been widowed, you've got younger, higher earners, you've got lower earners that might be the much younger spouses. You've got people that have pensions, people who don't. You've got people with a lot of wealth and a lot of people who don't have a lot of wealth. So every situation is different. But here's the key, Denny. We have a process. You and I have a process of helping people. We don't say, here's a product. This product is like the magic pill. Go ahead and use this product. Everything will be fine. We know that's not the case. but we have a process of taking people through and make sure that we have really high levels of probability that these people will succeed then in retirement.
Exactly. We focus on predictability and assurance, not speculation. And again, I think that's where people miss. It's not sexy enough. It's funny that they seem to be more interested when the markets are crashing or there's volatility and uncertainty. When there's the old saying, when the music's playing, everyone's dancing. No one cares. But then when the music stops,
exactly.
Right. So,
exactly.
And speaking of music, what's going on with Peter Frampton these days? I know you follow him a lot. Is he coming out with a new album or anything?
I don't know. I feel bad for him with his health issues. I'm hoping he can play another couple years. I'd love to see him in person again.
So there's a classic guy who had so much money. If people know my story about I played with so many iconic musicians that were broke. They wound up broke with platinum records. And I think, wasn't it he made a mistake in 2008 where he sold out at the wrong time because he himself panicked. Isn't that true with Peter Frampton? He lost a lot of money.
I'm pretty certain you're right. I feel like, I mean, these are the most talented people in the world in terms of music and instrumentality and so forth, but they aren't the most talented in terms of managing their finances. And I think the sharks out there find vulnerable people like Peter Frampton or Billy Joel or whoever it might be, and instead of really building a relationship with the advisors, I think these advisors, they just say, "Come on, trust me."
Yeah, right.
They take this leap of faith that I'm smart, you're not. I'll take care of everything. And boy, do they ever get hoodwinked into catastrophes. It's just awful.
So, Mike, I know you're in Buffalo suffering in that beautiful weather as we have 60s degrees. There's a big show tomorrow. I'm doing a Santana tribute. Wiggle, Lomas, and the whole crew is going to come to the show, I think. I'm sorry you're not here to witness that, but we're going to be filming it. So I'll get a copy of the show and I'll let you know how nice and warm and musical the night will be tomorrow. So
please do. And I have a few visits planned already, all the way up to about May. So I hope to see you and we can connect in person.
Always a pleasure, Mike Hayflick. I'm so glad to have you as a partner and be part of the Financial Guys Network. So all of you listening out there, again, Social Security is very complex, but we can simplify it and show you an optimal way or time that you should take it. Please give a call at 561-305-8226 because it's very important. And another thing before I let you go, Mike, I think the Bills would have given Tom Brady a tougher Super Bowl than Kansas City did. What do you think?
The irony of that, huh? I mean, we've been getting pummeled by Tom Brady for 20 years up in this AFC East, and here he goes off to Tampa Bay. And what irony there would have been to have to face him in a Super Bowl. But I don't know. I mean, both of those teams were awesome. You can't take anything away from a Tom Brady. The guy is just absolutely legendary. And I mean, at 43, 44 years old doing what he does, he's just an absolute maestro at that quarterback position. But you know what? We're excited about the Bills. I think they're headed in the right direction.
They're a physical team. You've got a great fan base. So I'm hoping the Bills and my Giants can make it to the game sometime soon. But I'll tell you what, the only reason I say that because they're such a physical team, and I think Kansas City just did not match up physically with that really surprised me. But that's where it was won in the trenches. But I know you guys are diehard Buffalo Bills fans, so I always have to mention that. And let me know when you come down, Mike. And always a pleasure, my friend. I know you've got a call. Thanks a lot for calling in. Always a pleasure.
Thank you, Denny. It's been my pleasure, and I'd be happy to come back on and definitely be looking you up when I get down, probably in late March into April as well. So
sounds good. Take care, Mike.
Thank you, pal.
All right, Mike Hayflick, ladies and gentlemen. You know, he's something else. This guy, he was, I think he was an ex-teacher, an engineer, very analytical. He's such a nice guy. Everyone loves him up in Buffalo. He meets clients and they give him all this money and they're like, what just happened? I don't know. We we have someone new in the family. That's how Mike is. He's very honest, very thorough, such a great resource for Social Security. We've helped a lot of people look at the reality of it. So anyway, I think we also have I think we have Mike Sparazzo, or he's going to be calling in soon too, part of the Financial Guys Network. An article that was interesting because we're all hoping that the COVID thing gets behind us sooner than later. But a Washington Post article was showing that so many millions of jobs and people really have to look at something new that they're doing. In fact, they quoted that 2/3 of people, which is higher than 50% during the Great Depression. Now, why is that important? I believe that in life, you have to be ahead of things and not behind it. So, if you're out there, if you're struggling, you're thinking about a career change, know that you're among many, 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 many deserving and gifted people that are in the same boat. But, write down your positives, write down your strengths, and go after what it is, because I don't think that this is quite going to be over for a while. I hope it is. I hope the vaccines continue. And I think we have someone on the line. Line 2, you're on the show today with Denny. Who's calling?
Hey, Denny, it's Mike Sparazzo. How are you?
Hey, Mike, how are you, buddy?
I am good. I'm good. How you doing?
I just had the great Hayflick on the other line talking
all
about
right.
Social Security claiming. And, of course, we had to discuss the bills,
Got it.
But we won't discuss that with you. So, Mike, as always, tell Evan and I how warm it is in Buffalo right now.
Oh, it's beautiful. 22 degrees and some snow coming in today.
Yeah, we're going to have a cold front on Saturday. I think it's going to get down to the 50s. Ooh, we're going to have to brace ourselves here in Florida for that.
That's right.
So what's going on in the PNC world with you today?
So I know we talk about Florida stories and New York stories every week, but I had a good one from New York yesterday. And the reason I want to tell it is because it fits anywhere in the country, no matter if it's New York, Florida, California, Oregon, the Midwest, doesn't matter. So I had a client with a certain company. They were with them for about 29 years. They stay with the same company 29 years, which is a good thing, right?
Sure.
It's loyalty. We all respect loyalty. But he didn't realize how much he was actually paying until he went over the numbers. He was paying, about $2,700 more than he probably should have been. We rewrote the auto, the home, and the umbrella and saved him about $2,700 a year and increased coverages on all three policies as well. Now, what was interesting was his home was about 3 times the premium that it should have been. And he said, I just kept paying the bill. Why is that?
Yeah. Why was it 3 times? I mean, what did they fail to do?
Obviously, I don't work with the company that he was with, but it most likely was due to the fact that he didn't shop his insurance for 30 years. So
30 years.
By staying 30 years. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
So we ended up, so to give you the breakdown, Florida numbers are always different, of course, in New York, but his home that we wrote with better coverage was about $900 a year. He was paying $2,800 with the company that he was with now. So you can see the difference in premium, again, over 3 times the premium where he was compared to what we put him with. And that was, again, just by the fact that we shopped him around. It had nothing to do with, just shopping around is most likely what saved him that, over $2,000 just on the home.
So I would say tell the number where people can, at least shop and see if they can get a better rate. I know you had changed it, but it's a toll-free line. What is the number to call, Mike?
Yes, 1-855-TFG Auto.
Okay, so 855-TFG Auto. Again, I don't know why people don't shop. Maybe it's a habitual thing, or they just feel it so. But the Financial Guys Home and Auto, they're here to save you money. I'm glad to be partnered with you all. And so 855-TFG Auto for your auto and your home needs. And I got a big show tomorrow, buddy. I think most of the people in the office are going to be there. We're going to do a Santana tribute. Unfortunately, you're stuck in the cold, but maybe when you come down to Florida again, you can catch one of those shows.
I'll be down next week.
Okay. Well, buddy, stay warm. Always a pleasure, man. And again, if you'd like to shop your home and auto, it's 855-TFG Auto. Call Mike Sparazzo. And, dude, is your dad still making ridiculous meals at the office from time to time there? I mean,
he's enjoying the sun with you guys. He's been down there for about 3 months already.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's he? I mean, he's not staying at Lomas's house, is he?
No, that would never work out.
Yeah.
No, he's got a house now in Jupiter, or in Palm Beach Gardens, I should say. Excuse me, Palm Beach Gardens. Yeah.
Your dad is quite the guy when it comes to life insurance. Very few people walk the walk and talk the talk like he does. I got to have him on the show as well. So
yeah, he'd love to do that.
Yeah, I should. He's one of those bona fide life experts that, I mean, that's what he focuses on, right? He doesn't really do anything else, does he?
That's the majority of what he does every day. Yeah.
Awesome. Well, listen, you be well, my friend. I'll talk to you next week. Mike Sparazzo, ladies and gentlemen, on the show today. Have a great day. I think this is a good time for a break, and we're going to come back to Today with Denny. All right, we are back on Today with Denny. You know, I keep forgetting, if you'd like to call in, talk what's on your mind, the number here is 772-220-9788. I think we have a caller on the line. You're on the phone with Today with Denny. What's on your mind?
Denny.
Oh, it's Tommy. Look at this.
Oh, wow. Hey there, little guy.
How are?
Hey, Tommy, do your parents let you go out and listen to music?
Sometimes.
Yeah, sometimes? Okay. Because I'm doing a show in Stewart tomorrow, and you should tell your grandmother or your mom to come to the show. But you called in today. What's going on in your world today?
You're in the show? What do you do, magic?
I don't do magic, although some people think guitar playing is magical, but I'm going to be playing music.
All right. That's Mom to go.
Hey, what kind of music do you listen to?
Mommy, Daddy's, he works on his car and he plays some music in the radio outside.
Oh, okay. So you don't know what does he listen to? Country, rap, rock and roll? What?
He doesn't.
What's that? I think Tommy's phone is a little.
He doesn't listens to a band called CCR.
CCR, right? Yes. You know what that stands for, Tommy? Okay. Creedence Clearwater Revival.
That's a big name.
That's a big name. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
So last time we talked, you're still doing the at-home kindergarten care. How's that going?
It's all right. Mommy didn't wake up this morning, so I went and got my own breakfast.
Really? What did you get?
I had some pizza from last night and a piece of sausage.
Yeah, me and Evan, we're kind of chefs. We cook that breakfast as often as we can, don't we, Evan?
Sure, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Why not?
So I think also, Evan's got like 3 kids, but I don't
Four.
know. 4. He's got 4 kids.
A boatload.
So I don't know if he's going to adopt you, Tommy. He's still thinking about it.
I would like to have some brothers and sisters.
Well, he's got them. I mean, how many kids you got, Evan?
Well, I got 3 boys and a girl, but I mean, I could find you some brothers and sisters very easily.
That would be wonderful.
I'll put an ad on Craigslist.
I don't want anyone that's going to bully me.
That's fine. It's all right.
That's,
We'll have Denny screen them for you.
yeah, don't worry. I got your back, Tommy. If
Through the
anyone's
ringer.
trying to bully you, I mean, just tell me about it. I'll take care of them.
Oh, all right.
Yeah.
I don't like those kind of kids.
Yeah. I wonder, last time you were watching cartoons, do you watch the news at all, Tommy? Do you watch the news?
No, sometimes it's but Mom likes to watch My 600-Pound Life.
My
She
600-pound
likes
life.
that.
She does?
It's a big fat lady kid. Her fat sister.
Well, I don't want to make fun of fat people because, a lot of people have issues, but
Mhm.
I always wonder why they would have a show of someone who's, big like that. I mean,
Probably so you can make fun of them.
you see how kids are brutally honest? They have no filter.
Even her forehead is fat.
Oh, gosh. Wow. Does she lose weight or does she stay fat?
She keeps trying to lose weight, but I think if she does it, she can't be on the show anymore.
Well, see, Tommy, you're only like 4.5. See, when you get older, it's harder to lose weight. That's the problem. See?
I'm real skinny and little.
You are. Okay.
Mhm.
Yeah, kids, it's best when they're little and young. What do you think, Evan? Less issues?
Yeah, my all my kids are thin, lean, and mean, so my kids are good to go.
Are they teenagers in their 20s?
Well, I got a 31-year-old, 29-year-old twins.
Wow.
One of them's a cop.
Wow.
And I got a 17, almost 18-year-old, and they're all in fantastic shape.
Tommy,
Wow.
I think they're too old for you to have them as brothers and sisters.
They're very old. They sound like they're older than you.
Don't you want a little brother or sister that you can, pick on?
Yes, I would like a little brother too. Then he can do stuff for me.
Like
Help me get Mommy up when she is sleeping in the basement
Yeah, that's
on top of boxes.
quite a household you got there, Tommy.
That's my daughter. You could tell Tommy about that one.
Oh my God, his daughter would ruin you. She's got muscles on top of muscles. He's showing me pictures.
I was like,
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh boy.
She don't play.
Is she in law enforcement?
she's a cop.
Oh boy.
oh, all right.
I think I'm gonna commit a crime just so she can arrest me. Sorry, Evan. She's got it going on, buddy.
That's all right.
Oh my goodness. Look, Tommy, I can't show you these pictures. This is a family show. So
Yeah.
All right.
all right. So listen, I think that you're not going to be able to come to the show tomorrow, but I'll tell you all about it next week if you want to call in. And is there anything else that you're going to do today with your time?
No, but I have a new joke.
Okay.
What do you call when Aretha Franklin married Darth Vader? No. I mean, what do you call when Ella Fitzgerald marries Darth Vader?
Ella Fitzgerald and Darth Vader. I had no idea.
I'm stumped.
Yeah. What do you get?
Darth Fitzgerald, I think.
Darth Fitzgerald.
Or elevator.
Oh, that's funny, Evan.
I think Evan's
Get it?
got you stumped on
Elevator.
that one. Elevator.
Elevator.
All right, Tommy. Well, listen, I think I hear them calling you. You better go do your homework before you get in trouble, okay?
All right, Mommy's still passed out. I can see her with one sock on. She hasn't moved. All right.
All right, little Tommy, ladies and gentlemen. What a great young kid. The future of America.
Bye-bye.
Bye now.
See ya.
Yeah, I see him being a senator down the road. What do you think?
I don't know if I'd want that in my cabinet.
I don't know.
That's brutal.
So listen, we were talking before, and it's very exciting. You're wearing the Mets memorabilia there.
Yeah.
So the games are going to start. They're going to actually allow people in the stadium.
Yeah, we're going to allow about 1,200 fans in the stadium.
Okay.
Tickets are on sale now. They're going to be in pods of 1 to 6 people. They have the seats all strapped off already. So everything will be socially distanced around the stadium. Each day when I go to work, I have to go through a process to be able to get in the stadium. I have to get a wristband on.
Really?
Yeah, we have a bubble that's actually a virtual bubble created in the stadium where there's certain areas that I can go and I can't go because of COVID. So, but it's going to be a good time. It's going to be a good time. Spring training is here.
So it's interesting because they're going to separate people until the 3rd or 4th beer kicks in, right? That's when people are just kind of like bumping into each other in the stands. I mean, how are they going to police that up when people get real friendly?
I don't know. I honestly, I don't know. But you are going to be required to wear a mask at all times when you're on property, except when you're consuming food or beverage.
So if you're sitting in your chair, you have to wear the mask if you're not eating or drinking.
Yes, you must wear. You have to wear a mask.
And
yes.
Are they going to take temperatures of people that go?
Yes, I do believe there's going to be temperature checks as you go into the stadium as well. I think. Don't quote me on it.
Yeah,
I know that we have temperature checks when I go to work every day, and I have to sign off on a form that I haven't been sick or anything.
I haven't been to a game in so long, and of course, my father and I, diehard Mets fans, as you are.
Yeah,
really enjoyed the games. When is the first game? Should be pretty soon, right?
Let me look at my calendar real quick. I think it's March the 1st, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me on it. Let me look here. No, I'm sorry, March 2nd against the Marlins.
That should be a great game.
Yeah,
Now, I'm going to go to one of the games to witness what it's like. Oh my God! But
spring training's fun. We have a good time. We really do. Stadium's gorgeous.
It's in great shape, isn't it?
Well, it just got renovated. Millions of dollars they spent on the stadium, and they've renamed the stadium. It's now Clover Park, and it's completely all renovated. Brand new fan shop, concession stands, bathrooms, everything.
Wow. Another sign that maybe we can get back to normalcy with this COVID and pandemic. But, I was stating before with Bonnie, it's really tough because I don't think we've really seen the shakeout of everything. We still have lots of businesses that are not going to come back. We have unemployment rates that jumped up again.
Yeah.
And I'm not so sure about the vaccine, how it's rolling out. You keep hearing different things. It's available. I literally asked someone in Publix because I was curious from my mom. And I think there's like a 3 or 4 week waiting list for them to get the vaccination.
Well, you have to go on Publix's website, and
is that how it works?
Yeah, you go on, you get you wait in line for when they reopen the website, and then you sign up through the website.
Okay.
And I had the Martin County Administrator on my show, Taryn Krisda, the other day, and over at the Treasure Coast Mall, where H.H. Gregg used to be, that's going to be another site to go and get your vaccines as well.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, hey, get out there. I mean, if you're a senior, obviously, get out there and get vaccinated, protect yourself. It's interesting. Among all this thing, Amazon, of course, has had record profits. And I saw an article that because they now have their own planes and they're doing so much business that they think they're going to be equivalent to an airline. That's how many flights Amazon themselves are going to be doing because people are ordering online. I can't believe how much I can literally buy music gear from Amazon.
Oh yeah,
for less money than the music store that I go to.
Oh yeah.
And a lot of the stuff that they have, they do because I have a Prime membership. They deliver it for free like the next day or two.
I have a little secret to tell you about Prime too.
Yeah, what is the deal with
If you're not
Prime?
going to use Prime for also movies and things like
Yeah.
that, don't waste your money.
No kidding?
I proved it to my wife. I order things on Amazon all the time, and I always check free shipping.
Right.
Okay, and it tells you it's going to be there in a couple of days.
Mhm.
It comes the next day.
It does.
Yeah, and I don't pay for Prime.
Okay, so I'm getting hosed a little bit.
You're
That's
getting
what
you're getting hosed, basically. Yeah, pretty
well,
much.
I know Amazon has the music thing, and I
Yeah.
have that because I
Yeah.
like that I can just put in an
Yeah.
artist.
Then it's worth it to have. But
Okay.
if you're only using Prime for just the shipping to get the free shipping
Yeah.
or next day shipping, a lot of times when you check off free shipping,
Okay.
it'll 70% of the time it'll come the next day and it's free.
Well, I have to look into it. Like I said, I
Yeah.
do use the music, and I do like the fact that it's so convenient. And the market is still not sure too of where it's going to go. But think about it, we're still at record highs. I mean, nothing goes straight up, and I think they're waiting to see further employment things that come up. But we have to, as a society, try and shut off some of that negative banter and work on ourselves. I wanted to talk briefly because a lot of people I know are still suffering. They're struggling. Their livelihood has been ripped, apart on this pandemic, but they're still trying to make the best out of it. And the way they can do that, obviously, is to seek a different career opportunity. I don't know. I guess you and I are similar where we've always had artistic type of careers, haven't we?
Mhm.
I mean, I can't imagine being in a 9-to-5 job, showing up in an office.
No.
And so I've almost I've been prepared for COVID because I'm not on a salary. I have a client base. I have a business.
Mhm.
I do have an office in Jupiter, but I can do a lot out of my home as well. And I feel so bad because I can't tell you the last time I've had a guaranteed paycheck. Can you remember that?
Well, yeah, just this past Friday.
Oh, well, besides
From
yes.
here.
Well, from here, but
And
I mean,
also the Mets.
but is there a guarantee? You see?
Yeah, it's guarantee. I'm going to get a check from here every week because this is my
okay.
this is my I want to say this is my bread and butter. What I do here in the mornings.
Okay.
I get in here like 3:34 in the morning, and I leave
Mhm.
out of here about 11 in the morning. Then I go to the New York Mets and do that over there, and that's a seasonal job. Then I have my entertainment company.
Right, you're a DJ.
I'm a DJ. I do weddings and things like that.
So when do you sleep?
Look at my eyes. What color? They're red. That's just lack of sleep.
You got to slow down, buddy.
well, I don't know what that means. That's just me. That's just I go and go and go.
4 kids, 3 jobs,
Yeah.
and not much sleep.
And a wife and no sleep.
And a wife.
And red eyes to boot.
I officially feel like very wealthy listening to that, okay? Even though I've got to deal with the market's ups and downs, I've got to deal with, the biggest struggle about my business as a financial planner is doing the right thing and talking sense into people. It's like that conversation early today with Mike Afleck.
Mhm.
People kind of know Social Security is important, but they kind of put it aside.
Mhm.
But it's only when the markets start crashing and they're really closer to retirement and they want to lock in how much money they're going to make on a guaranteed basis.
Right.
Because when you're retired, I don't think people should play that speculation game.
I'm not a gambler when it comes to that, so I don't really, I don't really have any investments. I've only invested, I think, in 3 stocks in my entire lifetime.
Yeah.
Everybody says to me, "You're going to be 61. When are you going to retire?" And I tell them, when I'm 6 feet under, that's when I will retire.
That's when you retire.
That's when I'll retire.
Oh boy,
I'm retired permanently.
And do you have life insurance?
I do. My wife and my kids will be very, very well taken care of.
Boy, you might want to sniff your food or your drinks before you.
I do. Trust me.
You sleep with one eye open?
I do. And I have a gun beside my bed at all times.
Oh my God. We should have a show just on your history. I think mine is interesting, but because people, I don't know, some people do know that you were an announcer for WWE for some years, right?
Yes, I used to work for the WWE. Back then it was the WWF.
Okay.
As a ring announcer from 1988 through 1993. And it was a great time.
I mean, that was talk about like a rock concert environment. Those people are so jacked up.
Oh, yeah.
You know what's so hilarious? A lot of seniors watch wrestling
all the time.
They're so into it.
Yep.
And so, I mean, but look, let's face it. You have to be very athletic for what they do.
Yeah, you got to be in great shape. I could tell you some tall stories that we could spend 8 hours and talk.
Right.
And some of them involve my kids.
I see. But, they have to be jacked up. You can't tell me those guys with all the muscles and the falls and stuff that they take.
Back in the day, yes. Today, no.
Do they
That's
test
all
them
natural. Oh, yes.
Really?
Oh, yeah. PEDs are a no-no.
I mean, how do the NFL players get away with it? You can't tell me
they get tested. There's constant testing.
They have to have stuff that you can't see. Come on.
Nope. It's constant testing, even in MLB. PEDs is a big no-no. If you get there's random, pardon my French, but there's random P tests done all the time.
Is P French? Is that considered French?
I guess, whatever you want to call it. French, German.
We're such a family show. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Well, that's interesting. I mean, like I said, I don't think I've ever gone to a live match, but I've seen it on TV. And I mean, are they still filling? They're still having wrestling matches, right?
Yeah, they're the WWE's running out of Tampa's baseball stadium right now. It's called the Thunderdome with no fans and virtual fans all the way around on screens.
Okay.
But WrestleMania is coming up in a few weeks in Tampa, where the Bucks won the Super Bowl, and they're going to have about 25% capacity there.
I'm telling you, Tampa Bay, the only thing they have missing is a basketball team. Then they've got it all covered.
They got the Canadian team playing up there.
Is that what
in
they're
Tampa?
doing?
Yeah, the team from Canada is playing in Tampa.
Well, they've got the hockey, they've got the baseball,
right.
And now, of course, they've got the Brady Bucks.
Right.
So Tampa Bay is looking like a hotspot, but Florida itself, it's just amazing how many people are moving here to Florida.
Yeah.
Not just from New York. I mean, I can see New York, the cold weather, the governor, the mayor, but a lot of people are coming to Florida. And I know this because traffic is just getting unbelievable, even up here in the Treasure Coast.
Welcome to Florida.
Well, that's what I'm saying. So, if it wasn't so cold, maybe when I got old, I might move up north and drive slow, but I don't like the polar bear weather, so it's not going to happen. On another note, I do see some other venues bringing more music. There are some festivals that are trying to get back to normalcy, but I mean, I just don't know. And what's so ironic is, do you even go to restaurants anymore yourself?
I do. My wife and I, we go out every now and then.
Okay.
But we're very careful about where we go and where we sit.
Right.
And you brought up another good, valid thing about music and venues. The Martin County Fair just had Lone Star, the country band.
Okay.
Right here down the road.
And I wonder how that was.
It was a great turnout from what I understand, but everybody was socially distanced on their chairs.
I know that Ron Hart and also George, the owner of Mulligan's, who's one of the sponsors, they're really doing a lot to keep music and entertainment alive in Stewart. I've never seen, because, Stewart is a relatively small city, but it's got so many great resources, a lot of waterways, and they're still doing the Rock River Walk on the water. And they're doing that on Sundays again. You got the Mulligan's Beach House, which I just played.
Right.
So entertainment in Stewart is doing their fair share of trying to stay active and bringing life back to normal. I want to try and get a hold of somebody in law enforcement because I think they're doing a great job in keeping, sanity in this small little city.
I can get you the public information officer from the Stewart Police Department. He's a very good, close, dear friend of mine.
Yeah, I would like to because I think, they don't get enough credit for what they do. I mean, God knows I could never do what they do.
Right.
And it's important. You can't defund the police and I think one of the great things about Florida is we've never seen really out of control riots. They pretty much keep things in check. You can protest, but you don't see them burning department stores or looting and rioting like you see in other states. And I credit that to law enforcement and, of course, having a strong governor. But before we take a leave of the show until next week, I want to remind everybody that every day is an opportunity for you to make the best of it. And, I don't say this frivolously because I know personally how tough life can be. But if we focus on what we would like out of life instead of what we don't like out of life, we'll at least begin to manifest a different reality. You can read self-help books until you're blue in the face, but if you don't take out a pen and paper and write down in details what you'd like to accomplish in life and feed your mind a roadmap of what you want to do, it's never going to happen. And it really is a choice. I mean, I still am amazed how some people, no matter what happens to them, they're happy that they got up there on the warm side of dirt and they're able to have another day. And that's how we have to do about this with this pandemic. We have to look and make someday today. Make today the day that you decide you're going to make the best out of life. You're going to take whatever life throws at you and overcome it. I'm not saying it's easy, but it certainly is simple. So that's the message I'd like to leave you today on Today with Denny. And of course, call in next week. The number here is 772-220-9788. And I'm so looking forward to this show tomorrow. I haven't been this excited about a show in a while. The rehearsals went great last night. It's going to be a Terra Firmata tomorrow at 7 o'clock, a tribute to Santana. I hope to see all my locals out there. It will start at 7 o'clock. You can get tickets there if you haven't gotten it online. And like I said, I'm looking forward to having a great musical show. And I think we're going to have another cold front on Saturday. You ready for this?
For me, it's not cold. I mean, when it was really cold here a couple of weeks ago,
Right.
I go outside in shorts and no shirt. My neighbors look at me.
You're
like
one of those guys.
I'm whacked out. Completely.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. It doesn't bother me.
Well, when you have 10 jobs, a bunch of kids, and a wife,
Yeah. And a dog.
Yeah, you get to be a tough, right?
Yeah. Tough SOB.
Right. Well, so if I go to the game, I mean, I may have to just wave it to you from the.
Well, just text me and I'll wave from out my window. I'm like, I have the best seat in the house. I have the highest. I'm at the top of the stadium, literally.
Yeah.
And I can oversee the whole playing field. I have the best seat in the house.
I bet you
And
do.
if it wasn't for COVID, I'd invite you up to come sit in sometime. But
So
I
they
can't.
will not allow anyone in the booth.
No one at all.
All right. Well, you can catch Evan in the Mets games, and you can catch us together next week. And again, make it a great day, everybody. Thanks for listening today with Denny. Make it a great day.
The preceding was a paid program. The content is provided by the advertiser. WSTU, its staff, management, and owners are not responsible for the content. Advisory services offered through Blackridge Asset Management, a registered investment advisor. Securities are offered through Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Blackridge Asset Management is a separate and independent entity from Peak Brokerage Services, LLC. Member, FINRA, SIPC.